am going to be vlogging my audition. As you can see, my hair is in twists. That's because when I let my hair down, it will actually be really curly. Right now, I have about an hour and 30 minutes before my audition actually starts. So I'm going to get dressed and I'm going to practice and get my shoes on and everything, and then we'll return back to vlogging. Hey you guys, I'm going to the audition now. Basically, it is for sort of like a showcase. If you're accepted, they would showcase you in front of people in LA. I'm not too nervous about it just because it's not like one of the top things on my list to do, but I mean it's still pretty exciting. And then afterwards I will show you guys what happens. What I have in here is just my headshot and my resume, and then an extra resume, just in case for whoever knows what might happen. So yep, that's basically it. Also, I forgot to say that I'm going to be doing a commercial. So it's just like a one-line commercial. It's really short and pretty easy to memorize. So they had 3 possible commercials and I just picked one, even though I did memorize the rest just in case, and that is the one I'm going to be saying at the audition. The auditions go by pretty quick, so I should be back out pretty soon to tell you guys how it went. Hey guys, so we just pulled up in front of the agency building. I decided to switch my commercial to another commercial just because I felt like it. Right now we have about 30 minutes, so we're just gonna wait, and then I'm gonna go and audition, and then I'm gonna come back and tell you guys all about it. Hey you guys, so I'm done with the audition. It's about 3 hours later, so we spent 3 hours in there sitting and waiting, and then they gave a presentation just kind of explaining what the audition is about, and then we stood in line for like another 30 minutes before I actually got to audition. So I just got out for the audition. I met Tiffany Rochelle from the Industry Network, and basically what she does, just to give you guys a little bit more explanation, they go around the US and they audition kids from all over the US for their showcase. I think they have it like twice a year. They choose like 300 kids in all of the US out of the thousands of kids that they see, and to compete in this competition. So there's different divisions. There's a modeling division, there's a singing division, and there's a acting division, and then each person who goes up is awarded scores and points. They also get to perform in front of agents and managers and casting directors. Last time they brought 40 kids from my agency, and on average each person got about 5 callbacks from agents, managers, casting directors, etc. What she said, she was looking for people with personality, so being yourself. She's looking for someone who's respectful, because the entire time you're there you're going to be watched by agents, blah 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 blah. If you're like disrespectful to your parents, or you're running around, or you're acting crazy, they're going to see that and they're not going to want to call you in. So they're looking for respectful kids and also respectful parents. If you've ever been on like a set or anything, you've met those stage parents who are not the most fun to work with. They also said that they were looking for somebody with good grades, because good grades means that you are smart and you work hard, and that means it's also an indication of what kind of family life you have. There's a couple of no-nos that she had, especially for girls, which was dyeing your hair all the time, having piercings all over your face, or any of that kind of stuff is really not that helpful. So yeah, no tattoos, no face piercings for models, probably no belly button piercings or all that kind of stuff. There's different parts of the competition. So you have a part where you say a commercial, a part where you say a monologue, and a part where you do a scene, and all of those things you'll be judged on. So those are like 3 chances to get seen or get exposure. Now, my audition. What happened was, I walked into the audition room. There was a whole bunch of people sitting there. We came to the desk and they gave us a form to fill out with my measurements and my contact information. So tip, always know your measurements, because you might be asked to fill it out at auditions. Then we sat down and more people just kept coming in. So I think we sat there for about 30 minutes. There was this one person on the phone who kept on talking, which is also another tip. Please don't be on the phone speaking as loud as you can to your wife or whoever you're talking to, because it's extremely distracting for the other people who are trying to calm. And don't practice super loud, because that's also distracting. I had to remember to keep reminding myself that, you know, no pressure, just remember that this is supposed to be fun and exciting, and we're doing this for fun, because the more pressure you put on yourself, or the more pressure I put on myself, the more it gets harder for me to concentrate and to have fun and to act natural. They gave us numbers, so I was number 106, and yeah, and there was about 150 people there. So they called numbers 100 to 115 to go in, and then we all just sat in a room with all the people who hadn't gone yet, and all the people who were still going, and they had this video kind of explaining what the whole thing was about. So afterwards, I got to meet Tiffany Rochelle. She was the owner of the company. So basically, she came and explained to all of us what was going to happen, what the audition was going to be like. So yeah, she was really funny and really nice. And then the scout, who's actually going to be watching our auditions, came in and he talked a little bit about his story when he started when he was 19, and his parents really didn't support him on his acting journey. So we should be thankful that we have our own parents to support us on our journey. And basically, he was saying how after 17 auditions, he finally got his first national commercial, which paid him $35,000. It was a really cool story and actually pretty inspiring to me. He had to try 17 times before he finally found the time that he got the audition right. Finally, after he spoke, we went and we sat down for a little bit, and then we finally stood in line for about 30 minutes. I got to actually talk to the head of the group, so she asked a few questions about my grades, how long I'd been doing acting, how long I was part of the agency, and stuff like that. And then we headed into the audition room. It was really simple, straightforward, like I'd done a lot of other times. I gave him my headshot resume, he asked me some questions, and I said my commercial, and he asked what kind of classes I'd taken and when I had taken the classes. He also asked how long I'd had the commercial to work on, which I thought was kind of weird, but I mean, I told him I had a week to work on it and memorize it. If we're even interested in knowing what happened, we have to text him, and then he will tell us if it was yes or no. That was about 3 hours of waiting and auditioning. All in all, it was pretty fun. If it is good news, I will definitely be sure to let you guys know on Twitter or Facebook or, you know, something like that. So you should follow me. All my social media channels are in the description below, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.